Hey everyone! Welcome to Anime Bakery. Today, we're diving into Nomad Sculpt to recreate a scene inspired by Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind, Studio Ghibli's 1984 classic, where nature reclaims its place with the help of the brave Nausicaä. I'll walk you through how to transform a trilobite fossil image into a fully animated 3D environment like this. Using Nomad Sculpt's real-time rendering and AI-powered 3D tools, you can quickly build immersive worlds for animation or game design. First, I'll show you an AI tool that generates 3D models from images. For the art concept, I'm imagining a massive trilobite rests in the middle of the vast, toxic jungle full of luminescent spores. Let's start by creating the terrain. I found an image of malachite with rich mineral formations. It's perfect for our miniature landscape. Drop the image into the AI model generator, and within minutes, it gives us a detailed mesh with texture. Download it as a GLB file to use in Nomad. Next is our main character, the omen-inspired trilobite. I used a fossil image with strong segmented shells and horn-like features. The AI converted it beautifully, capturing all the details. You can use the same method to create coral, fungi, or any other elements to fill out the world. Now, we'll use Nomad Sculpt to assemble the scene, create materials, adjust lighting, and render the final animation. In the background settings, apply a gradient with a bluish hue at the top. For lighting, I'm using an indoor HDRI with lower exposure to keep the scene dim and focused. Then, import the terrain model. Scale and position the trilobite to sit in the center. Add coral structures as the background, and now we have our basic scene: a trilobite centerpiece, flowstone terrain, and a forest of white coral trees. Let's adjust materials and colors. Most AI-generated models come with texture channels. I'll desaturate the coral and adjust its materials, keeping the normal, roughness, and metalness maps, but removing the base color. For the site, I'll also remove the default texture and create a new material from scratch. Always apply new materials on a separate layer, so you can toggle between variations. I'm using a cool, grayish blue to match the atmosphere. For the coral, I'll switch the material type to subsurface. This simulates how light penetrates and scatters through translucent materials like wax or skin. When I set the subsurface color to blue, the coral picks up an inner glow when lit, giving it a surreal look. Adjusting the depth slider controls how soft and transparent it appears. After some tweaking, the whole scene starts to take on a cooler, more mysterious tone. Now, let's add water to represent the Sea of Decay. I start with a cube and scale it to cover the site, then assign it a refractive material with a turquoise tint. To light the water, I place a point light underneath, giving parts of the pond a soft glow while others remain dark, adding a moody, layered effect. It's less about technical modeling here and more about creating an immersive atmosphere. To add life, we'll make luminescent elements like spores, microorganisms, and fungi that are native to the Sea of Decay. Start with a sphere and go to the emissive material channel. Use a white image to control the glow. Adjust the intensity to determine how strong the light is. I'll place these as glowing eyes on the trilobite. After refining the shell, adding some pinches and smoothing edges, the trilobite looks more polished. Now it's time to flesh out the environment, starting with the background. I bend the trees with the Move tool to create a canopy, enclosing the space. Layering more trees behind adds depth. To simulate a spore-covered jungle, I apply an emissive blue tint to the far background and smooth out some of the branches. In the midground, let's enhance the water surface. I use the stamp tool to imprint a subtle ripple texture, then smooth the edges. Not all water needs texture. Variation makes it feel more real. Zooming out, you'll notice the scene already looks much more dynamic. For the foreground, we'll add moss, fungi, and strange plants growing around the stalactites. I sculpt some basic blob shapes, assign a noisy brush texture, and brush over them to create organic-looking moss. Using triplanar projection with paint-all, I form small herbaceous plants. Again, switching materials to subsurface gives them a soft, waxy transparency. Next, I import a group of fungi generated with the same AI tool. I strip away the original harsh colors and apply a white emissive texture with subsurface material to give them a glowing, ghostly look. Then, I use the curve repeater to scatter them along a path across the pond. Randomizing their size and position helps them feel more natural. I've got a separate tutorial covering random repeaters if you want to dive deeper. By now, the scene is fully built. For final detailing, I stamp a bumpy texture onto the trilobite shell, then add an extra directional light to illuminate the background. Imagine the spores gently floating through the air like in Nausicaä. We can recreate that. I use the array repeater to generate a field of spores and randomize them. Give them a faint emissive glow, and now the atmosphere really starts to sing. Last step, post-processing. In the settings, I turn on ambient occlusion to darken creases and edges. Depth of field helps draw attention to the main object while gently blurring the rest. I also enable bloom to enhance glows and add a dreamlike quality. Play with the curvature effect and others. I'll explore those in future videos. And that's it. We've built a scene inspired by Valley of the Wind. The Sea of Decay isn't just about death and poison, it's also about hidden life, thriving under harsh conditions. From our perspective, decay seems like the end, but for microbes and fungi, it's just the beginning of something new. That duality, death and rebirth, is what makes this world so powerful, and now you've recreated a piece of it in 3D. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment about what you'd like to see next. Happy sculpting!